Went up to Alfred's this morning, done a click and collect, and oh Christ, got there, queuing up. It's all this social distancing. This all seems to be a complete waste of time, doesn't it? Because you queue up outside a shop 2 metres apart, like if you go supermarket, and when you go inside, people are like 12 inches away from you. What's the point? And then you got Alfred's this morning. I've gone up there and they've got 2 metres and they've got bollards out and it's like click and collect only. Can't even go in the shop. They open the front doors. They've got a desk just behind the front doors. And then all the staff in there are not socially distancing. They're all gathered together in a confined space in the foyer of the shop. And then people are going up with their push bikes and the staff are coming out like 18 inches away from the customer, going like, oh, so what's wrong with the bike then? Blah, blah. I think, but you don't, I'm at a loss. You know, it's just, I don't know, you can't help some people, I suppose. You just can't explain it. It don't matter. Everyone bangs on about Boris Johnson, don't they? About, oh, you sending mixed messages, but people just don't get it anyway. It don't matter how much you write it down, how much you explain it, how much you draw diagrams. People just don't understand. I don't know if they just don't have the capacity or whatever. I don't know. They just don't understand. But anyway, so I got to Alfred's and I picked up some bits and pieces because I'm going to need to do a bit of spraying on the van down by the sliding door. I've had some rust down the bottom now since I bought the van. But just before the winter, I rubbed it down a bit and put some cure rust on it just to stop it getting any worse. So I've bought automotive masking tape and paint preparation wipes. A bit like a tack cloth, you know, just to wipe it down, get it all clean and all that. Then I've bought myself, making massive can, primer, white primer. Alfred's white primer. It's massive. I thought it was going to be like that size. But yeah, white primer. Then I've bought the white paint on my van is called Frozen White. Ford's Frozen White. So I bought Ford's Frozen White. I'm not sure if I'm going to need it because I'm doing the sill along the side of the van. From the back of the sliding door forwards, Hammerite stone chip shield. So I bought that as well. So what's been happening? What's been happening with you? Like anything? Done any work to your vans? Done a bit of. I've done some electrics. Which is why I've been able to move about the van now. I've come this end because I've changed some electrics and I've managed to get some electrics over this side. I mean, in my van, I can run wires. I mean, I do. I run wires. I've run wires behind the walls. All me things that I know are going to be fixed in place. So I know that like my ceiling lights, it's all obviously wired behind the ceiling and the walls. So my wall lights behind the walls, my sockets all behind the walls because I knew they were going to be in there and all that. But what I'm fortunate on here is I can run wiring, surface mounted wiring, but it all goes behind the units. So virtually front to back, apart from obviously the sliding door side, I can run wiring behind units. But give it some thought. So I did some wiring in the van. Hang on. So I wired in. I had a few of these knocking about, and I've wired in an extra one of these, which is a cigar socket. Just your normal cigar socket. Now I normally wire them in with the crimp connectors, but what I did with the one that I've wired in is I soldered it, but I didn't get it on film. Just basically just soldered the two wires together straight on like that, and obviously put some heat shrink around them, and then another heat shrink around the whole thing. But when I soldered them together, I made sure that the wires were soldered like that. So the live was soldered sort of in that position, and the earth soldered in that position, so that if ever they wore through, they wouldn't be touching each other like that. So that's what I did with that wire, then an extra one. And then I've sort of I've spurred off of it. Now, when I spur off of it, I've done this in a couple of places with some lights and bits and pieces in the van. And what I've used, you know, you used to use these connector blocks. So these connector blocks, I think I've used one of these in the van for the tap connector switch, but I don't use these anymore. What I now use, and these are absolutely awesome, are things called Wago connectors. Now this is a 5-way Wago connector. I've ordered some more. I've ordered some 2-way ones, but these are 5-way Wago connectors. Right. So these are basically a new version of these, but you don't need a screw. What you do, I don't know if you can see this, but basically what you do is you lift up a tab like that, you stick your wire in, push the tab down, and it's in. Then you put your next wire in there, and so on, say all your lives or all your neutrals. The reason I used these in certain places around the van when I made the connections is that I can then spur off of these if I want to put in an additional connection. So, for example, my wall lights, weren't sure whether later on I might want to put another one in. So I use these connections. So all I've got to do, so imagine there's one of these in the earth side and one of these in the live side. And I can just take the panel down, put another wire into there for the earth, another wire in for the live, and I've got my new light wired in, or whatever circuit you want to wire in. Just keep in mind what load you've got on the circuit. But I'll show you what your wiring size is and all that. So I'll just show you quickly how this works. So if I just bear one of these wires, let's see in the light. Right, just show you quickly. So like I've just got a bare wire. You take your connector, open up one of your pins, push the cable in like that up to the sheath, yeah, and push the button down, and that is now on there solid. So then you can put your next live in there, next live in there, next live in there, however many you want, up to how many connectors you got. This has got 5. I've ordered some small ones. They come in 2s, 3s and 5s. Absolutely brilliant. They also have on the, is it the back side? On the back side of them, there's a very, very small hole. So if you need to test the circuit, you can basically put your probe into that hole to test that particular circuit, whichever one it might be. Now these Wago connectors are designed, I haven't got one here, but they should really be housed inside a box, really, just for extra protection. Mine are sort of buried behind the wall, but that's as simple as that. And if you want to take them out, you just lift the tab and take the wire out. It's as simple as that. Push it back in and push the tab down, and now it's locked in. Yeah. If you look on the back, because it's, I don't know if you can see it on the back, you can see exactly where the wire's gone into. So you can see how far it's gone in, and it's made a good connection. Absolutely brilliant. They are a game changer. Wago connections, W-A-G-O, Wago. They are a game changer. I'll see if I can stick a link in the description. There's a couple of different types. This is the latest one. What are they called? There's 2 different types, but I'll see if I can find out which. And they also come in different ratings as well. This is a 20 amp rating on this, and and I think the ones I've ordered are 32 amp rating. So yeah, get rid of them, get some of them, and they're not huge money. They're not. So yeah, so I've done a bit of wiring for that. And like I say, if ever I want to add some additional wiring in, depending on what my load is, if my cable size is enough and the connector sizes are rated enough, and it allows me to add additional appliances, you know, either lights or USBs or whatever I want, I can just literally tap into one of them rather than having to go all the way back to the fuse box. Just tap into one of them, branch off where I like. So I've got these around the van, and I can just tap into them if I need to add another thing. So like I say, I did upgrade, like for example, the cable to the first one of these has now been upgraded to a 2.5mm cable, and then that goes to the fuse box, and then the rest of these are 1.5mm cables that come off to do a light or a USB socket or something like that. So yeah, hope that might be useful to someone. You never know. That's about it. Yeah, I hope you might find a use for it. Who knows? Yeah, the sound in the video, the sound's probably different because I've got a Rode microphone, like little tiny Rode micro, and I've plugged that in. I'm using my phone as a camera, and I've plugged that into my phone, so I don't know what the sound quality is like. It's probably I don't know. I'm not going to do any aftermarket post video tinkering or anything like that. I'm not that advanced in YouTubery, so I'm not one of your big YouTube boys with all the gear, all the microphones and the camera equipment, and because you watch some of the YouTubers out there, and they've got thousands of pounds worth of equipment, and you think, what you got all that for? I mean, you're not a TV company. I mean, there's a guy I was watching. I think he's in America or Canada. I can't remember which one he's in, and he's got thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds worth of equipment just to make YouTube videos, and they are no better than your videos or my videos. All you people out there I know use, GoPros and phones and maybe a GX7, something like that. This guy's videos are no better than any videos that we make. So I don't know what the point is in spending all that money, really. I know sound is really important. So if I could end up with a good sound system, I wouldn't spend a lot of money. It's just not worth it. But if I could improve the quality of sound, I would. Maybe a separate sound recorder would always give you better sound. But that's about it. I haven't got expensive camera equipment. I just use my phone. Seems to be good enough. You just don't want to see my ugly mug pin sharp, because that would just put you off your food all day. So if you're on a diet, let me know. I'll send you a pin sharp picture. So that's about it, really. I just wanted to update you to say that I've done a few electric. Oh, and I've done this. I've put there's a temperature. I've had that knocking around the van. I thought I'd put it up. It's a temperature and a clock. And I've moved my CCTV monitor. That's up on this wall, which is the side of the wardrobe. I've started another business because the taxi trade's finished. It's never going to recover again. So I've actually started doing another business, and I was asking my daughters today about, Ed, what would you reckon? Because they're both managers of shops. And one of my daughters, I said to her, what would you recommend about how to get the business, how to market? And she said, well, social media. Simple as that, social media. And of course, some of my age, social media, she might as well have said, easy, quantum mechanics. You know what I mean? Because I'm not great with social media. But I'll have to give it a go because that's the in thing. Let's see how we go. Anyway, more about that later. I'm going to go and make a cup of tea. And I might even have to put the heating on. To be fair, I did top my diesel tank up. Did top the diesel heater tank up, so I might need to put the heating on because it's getting a little bit chilly. That's it. Enough of my waffle. I'm off to make a cup of tea. Stay safe, everyone, and hopefully I'll speak to you soon. Ta-ra.